Right, let's take a look at the Bonfus Middus two-person tent. So this is more of a first look. This isn't going to be a full review. This is my 6th time that I've had this out while camping, so I've got some familiarity with it now. It's not going to be a really long video. I'm just going to really go through having a look at the features of the tent, the inside, how it's pitched, and then we'll briefly go through some of the specifications. So this is a two-person pyramid style tent, and it's manufactured by a company called Bonfus. Bonfus are an Italian brand. The tents themselves are manufactured in Mexico. They've got their own team, and the team hand make all of their gear. Bonfus sell other stuff as well, so they also sell, apart from tents, they also do sell backpacks as well, and then other related gear. So I got the two-person version, but I have got the one-person inner. And the reason I got the one-person inner, not the two-person inner, is I wanted something that had lots of vestibule space, but wanted to keep the weight down. But I am intending to buy the two-person inner at some point. But the main aim is when I'm going on long-distance trails, I just want somewhere that I can sleep. So it's quite small inside the one-person inner, which I will show you in a minute. But I do get lots of vestibule space, which is really good for if I want to get changed in or just sit and relax and stuff and store all of my gear. So in terms of weight, the Bonfus Middus with the one-person inner comes in at 692 grams. If you get the two-person inner, it adds another 100 grams to that, so it's 792 grams. So even with the two-person inner net, it is still really light. Now they are planning on also doing a solid inner version. My understanding is they're doing the solid inner version around the autumn time this year, so that's 2024. And they're starting with the one-person version, which I will definitely purchase. So what I will do a full review of this once I've got the two-person innernet and also the one-person solid version, and I will show you all that combination. I will also show you how it performs in high winds, and I'll show you how it performs in snow, rain, etc, etc. Right, so let's look at the outside of this tent. So it is a pyramid style tent. And one of the great things is I've had this out in some windy-ish conditions, and it's really sturdy. I mean, you can see here, I'm kind of giving it a rock and it's hardly moving. You have 4 stakeout points, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's what you need to get the tent actually pitched. But then you've also got additional points down here. So 1, you've got a couple of points by the doors, and another one here, and then obviously another one by the other door here. But it does also have additional guy-out points all around the middle perimeter of the tent. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you've got 8 additional guy-out points. So if you're in conditions with either heavy snow load or heavy wind, you can really batten this tent down. And I'm really looking forward to using it in some heavy winds to see how it actually handles it. So let's have a look at the inside of the tent. So as you can see, the vestibule is absolutely massive. Obviously, if you've got the two-person version, it's going to take up a lot of the space, but you still do get, I think, with the two-person version, a generous vestibule. But here I've got plenty of space here to store all my cooking stuff, my beers, my food. I've got my bag over this side here, and then this is the innernet. So it's pitched with 1 trekking pole. And you do need to make sure you've got a longer trekking pole. So the trekking pole that I had wasn't long enough to be able to actually pitch this tent. So you either need to have a longer trekking pole or you need a trekking pole extender, which Bonfus do supply. I've got this pitched at around 142 centimetres, but you can go between 142 and 138. So if you want to lower the tent, if it's windy conditions, then you can just drop it down. And at the top here, you've got a reinforced bit, which you pop your trekking pole into here, and then this little hook here holds the inner net up. Right, let's just have a look at the inner. So it's got a rainbow style door, which a lot of people don't like, and I'm not a massive fan of. But actually, you know what? It's not really a massive issue. You just roll it down and just pop it inside here. It's not a big deal for me. So you don't have a lot of space. Obviously, you do have the pole coming down the centre here, which does obviously obstruct the doors. Now, you could also pitch this in an A-frame. So if you've got long enough poles, so if you've got the poles with long pole with some extenders, then you could potentially pitch it A-frame. So that is something you can do. I am looking at buying some extenders and also a trekking pole splitter that you can buy from Mountain Laurel Designs. So you don't get a huge amount of space. So you've got just enough to store stuff at the top, and then a little bit at the foot end. And then that's it, really. It is really for sleeping in. You have to play about to get the inner taut. The inner's connected at these points to the tent here, so you just connect them at each four corners, and then you've got an additional part here which you can then connect the inner to the outer, just to pull the inner net away a little bit. And then you also have some guy out points down here, so you can just make sure that the inner is down to the ground and pulled out to where you want it to be. Right, so let's get into the tent. I'll take my shoes off, because we don't want to get into the tent with shoes on, especially ones who've been hiking in all day. So I am 5'10". I do think that if you're over 6 foot, you might struggle a little bit. It's not a problem for me in terms of the inner net flapping whilst I'm sleeping, but I'll lie down and then you can see what I mean. So if I get into my sleeping bag, so you can see lying down, like my head is right next to the inner net, which isn't a problem because it's not touching the inner net. If you look down here, my feet are just touching the inner net here, but it's not a massive problem. But that is one of the drawbacks with having a pyramid style tent, because obviously the walls do come in quite steeply. So that is something you've got to think, is that something that you want to deal with? This isn't a problem for me. I'm just sleeping in here. I'm not going to be spending hours and hours living in here. So I don't personally think it's an issue. So also inside, you get a little clip at the top here, so you can hang something from. I'm just hanging my little light from there. Other than that, you only get one pocket, which is just here. And that's it. There's nothing really else inside the tent. The bathtub floor is made from DCF, so you've got to bear that in mind. It's not a sill nylon floor, so most of the time I will put some kind of footprint underneath, just some lightweight protective layer, just to protect the base from any punctures. But unless you're really on some really rocky ground or where there's lots of stuff with lots of twigs and thorns, you should be absolutely fine. So in terms of sitting up and cooking inside the tent, yep, I can do that. Obviously you've got the pole, which does obstruct a little bit, but you still do have a nice space here. So I can just sit here, do a bit of cooking, and then I can also look at the views. Another thing you can do is open up both doors, so you have a huge viewing area, which I'll show you now. You have a simple toggle system here. It's not magnetic, which personally I prefer. I'm not a big fan of the magnets. They always seem not strong enough, especially when it's windy. They don't really seem to hold the doors back. So there you go, a huge viewing space here. So you can just come in plonk yourself down and enjoy the views without being obstructed, which is really great. So if it is raining, you do also still have some cover. So you don't have to have one of the doors pegged down. Assuming the wind's behind you, it still just gives you some shielding from the rain itself. So what are my initial impressions of the Bonfus Middus two-person tent with the one-person in it? I love it. I really, really like it so far. I'm really enjoying it. It's obviously a very big pitch size, so you've got to bear that in mind. It does take up quite a lot of space. But so far, I love it. I love the vestibule space. It's so simple to pitch. Even if you've got uneven ground, I find that it pitches really, really well. I haven't had any pitches where it's been really, really bad. You've got to fiddle about with the inner to get it kind of taut, so it's not kind of sagging down, but it just takes a little bit of getting used to, but I think I've kind of got the hang of it now. I'm looking forward to trying the two-person inner to see how that fares as well, and also the solid inner for the winter. My plan is to take this out all year round if I can, so I'm really looking forward to putting it through its paces. Unfortunately, you can't buy this tent in the UK. The two-person version isn't available. I know Valiant Peak did stock the one-person version for a while, but as of the making of this video, they are out of stock. I bought this from Garage Grown Gear in the States, both the outer and the inner tent. You can also buy them from Bonfus directly as well. So in terms of pricing, dollar-wise, you're looking at $569 for the outer tent, and you're looking at $229 to get the inner. So as a combination, it's quite an expensive tent, but it is cheaper than other similar style tents from other companies such as Mountain Laurel Designs or Hyperlight Mountain Gear. So I think it really is good value for money, considering it is really, really well made, and it's super light. It's a palace, really. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Thanks so much for watching. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below. Also, please do like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. I will do a full review of the Bonfus Middus probably next year once I've taken it through the winter. So do please keep an eye out for that video if you're interested to see how it handles all sorts of varying weather conditions. So as always, stay safe, keep on trekking. I'll see you on the next one.